Welcome to the Ecosystem Effect. My name is Victoria Ross. Sometimes it's not just about a good idea, it's about the network behind it. Today we're going to be sitting with Alex Clark of ACS, and we're going to get to know him a little bit and his company. They are newish to the building. So, how is your day going today, Alex?
Great.
Good.
We always say every day is better than the last.
Definitely. At least you have the opportunity to make it better than the last. So
100%.
that makes it better. So I saw that you're an alumni of UAH and that you study engineering, right? Is it interesting to be back on campus?
I kind of feel like I never left. And the reason why I say that is when I finished my undergraduate in 2006, I continued taking classes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I averaged about 1.5 classes a semester until 2020.
Oh.
Yep. So,
interesting.
I feel like it's important to maintain kind of a learning baseline
Mm-hmm.
as an engineer or somebody that's doing like technology type of things.
Yeah.
And being plugged into a university really helps because
Yeah.
that's where the basic research is coming out of. And a lot of times there's a lot of things that they're doing in research that they'll never pan out,
Mm-hmm.
or they may not have a real application. But if
Yeah.
you're working in industry and you can stay close to that kind of thing, you can cherry pick
Yeah.
the ones that are going to work the best.
You're absolutely right. Awesome. Okay, so I know that you are head of innovation for ACS. So actually, before we get into that, tell us a little bit about the company. I looked it up online, but as someone who's not very technical, I would like to hear it from you. Maybe you can break it down a little better.
Yeah. So our main product is going to be Bullfrog, which is an AI-powered counter UAS remote weapon station.
Okay.
And if you break that into a couple chunks, it's basically a robot with a machine gun that uses AI to find drones within an airspace, to find the aim point, and then come up with a ballistic solution to put a single bullet onto that drone out to 400 meters and further. So this is turning, an M240 is not a precision weapon, it's a machine gun. It's turning what is not a precision weapon into a precision weapon and putting rounds on a target. It's about the size of my hand, size of a coffee cup, maybe a little bit bigger,
Wow.
from 400 meters away. And we're taking out drones somewhere between 5 and 10 bullets per UAS.
Okay, that is somewhat what I gathered, but definitely sounds way more impressive when you explain it with all the details. Wow. Okay. Are you were you like in the military, or is this like a totally different field for you?
No, I would say that I get asked that question a lot.
Yeah. It's valid.
It's a valid thing, and probably the closest I came when I graduated from UAH in 06. The job I started was working at Raytheon, and I did manned and unmanned flight test. So
okay.
I was a flight engineer on 2 airplanes, big wide bodies, DC-10 and 747. They were both experimental, and we had to do the survival school and hypoxia training and like all this stuff. And when you go through that kind of training, a lot of the things stick with you. Like, being prepared and being organized, and makes a lot of people think that you're in the military, you're motivated, all that kind of thing.
But it's also a skill set that you can get if you're not in the military, but I know what you mean by that statement.
Yeah, good organizational skills. You kind of learn to take care of yourself, take care of the airplane and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so tell us what your day-to-day is like as head of innovation as Alvin Control Systems.
We were just talking about this. It's like, well, I may have to travel tomorrow. I don't know if I do. I don't know if I don't. We'll know probably this afternoon. That's a good start for small venture-backed company in a tech ecosystem. Is that there's so many things that are happening, and they're all so important. And you have to try to figure out how to divide your time between which opportunities are going to provide you the best payback while you're building a company. So in some cases, I'm like, well, I don't know what my day will look like tomorrow, but I do have a punch list of things that that I have to get done. And I had at another company I worked at, we had a fantastic CEO, and he always said it best by saying things like, we're building the missile while it's in flight.
Yeah, I
That's-
totally get that. Yeah.
That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's something wrong with, some part of it. We better go triage it.
Mm-hmm.
We're still moving at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, that has to be exciting though, because it's definitely not the same thing every day, I would assume, right?
No, we're
Okay.
we're coloring with broad swaths.
Mm-hmm.
We'll dive in where we have to, but part of part of the innovation in a tech company like that
Mm-hmm.
is keeping track of what new tech is, and that has to be like a foundation in your day while you're making sure that tech's in alignment with what customers need.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm assuming you read a lot of news during the day,
Yes,
like tech
a
news,
lot
what's
of
coming
time.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's one of the newest things in tech that piqued your interest that you thought was really cool?
I'm doing a lot of tracking of VLMs. So
Okay, what does that mean?
So we're all familiar with like large language models.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like the video equivalent of a large language model, where you can have videos created, curated, learned from, and we're starting to see some of that. Like if you've ever played with, Grok just came out with this like drop your picture in and make it come into a video, or type a human readable text in
Yeah.
to change or modify videos.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting thing that's starting to come out.
Okay, so have you used that yet?
We play with it all the time. My kids play with it.
Is it cool, or is it like
Oh,
10
yeah.
fingers and like 3
No,
eyes, or is it pretty good?
No, it's really neat. Like a great example we were playing with over the weekend. We took a picture of one of our cats, and my son was like, "Daddy, make the cat have dragon wings and blow flames." 30 seconds waiting for it to process, and the cat can fly, shoots flames, looks like a dragon.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
I know.
sure he feels like you're the coolest dad ever. Because that is so cool. My dad couldn't do that.
It's like technology that's accessible to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But it does, we always say these technologies that come out, they look like magic
Yeah.
if you're not in the know
Mhm.
of what's happening.
Yeah, that's like, for example, I remember when the AI videos first started hitting the internet, my friend was calling me, telling me about her mom, like, was believing everything she was seeing. She was like, I saw a cat stand up on its back legs and do the salsa. And she was like, no, Mom, it wasn't real. And it was so hard for her to, like, grasp the fact that it wasn't real.
I know.
Because, like...
They look real.
Yeah, they do.
I know.
Okay, so ACS is working at the intersection of autonomy, defense, and AI. What problem was the company originally built to solve, and how has that evolved over time?
The origin story is really interesting.
Okay.
The founders, there's 3 main that like you find on the internet, which would be Mike, Steve, and Luke, and they left restaurant industry and sold a company and decided to start doing this type of venture. And the way they got into it was back when Ukraine war kicked off. There was a challenge in doing training, trying to train soldiers to use like a missile launcher, shoulder mount missile launchers. And they came up with the idea that they were going to use Unreal, which is a game engine, to build a 3D environment so that you could bring soldiers in who are wearing like an Oculus headset and train the soldiers to use this weapon system without ever, they left their couch, but without ever leaving their couch, right? You
Yeah.
make it a video game, you gamify the situation, you learn how to use the weapon. So
Wow.
that's how they started to learn about what's going on in Ukraine. And then as they learned more about what's going on in the battle, it became pretty obvious that most of the combat deaths are from small UAVs. Bomb-laden small drones are extremely deadly in Ukrainian conflict.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So from then they were like, and it motivates everybody in the company. It's cool to shoot drones down, but you have to back it all the way up to where you're thinking about those soldiers who are there, and it's protecting those people, man, woman, they're literally in trenches, who you're protecting them from these small UASs so that they can at least get up and be mobile a little bit.
That is really, really cool. Okay, so a little side question. So, in my opinion, the coolest thing about being at the I2C is the ecosystem that's here and working with other companies. And on the last episode, I interviewed Matt from RTTG, and I was just wondering, like, do you guys work with people who specialize in drones to figure out how to better shoot them down, how to better detect them?
We do, or we hire from.
Ah.
So I came from AeroVironment, and I owned at one point a UAS manufacturing company.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
So we did swarming, build targets, and stuff like that. Like the guys upstairs that do UAS, the UAH counter UAS range that Taylor and Jerry have set up. Yeah, we're trying to team with all those groups so that we can do testing local to Huntsville, so that we can set up test engagements. We have to train models.
Yeah.
So trying to get real data, flying drones is something that's critical for our operation to be successful too.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I like asking people that because I feel like, if you're just looking for an office space, you're not going to come here. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could, but I feel like there's other benefits. Do you know exactly why they chose to be in this space?
They needed a place in Alabama. The place to get talent in Alabama is going to be in Huntsville. And the place to find new talent and collaborate is going to be in Huntsville at UAH.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it adds up. I guess when you have to think, I have the assumption that all the businesses that are here are strategic thinkers because, like you just said, all of that makes sense. But it's like you have to think like that to realize the benefit of being right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool. So, you mentioned Bullfrog earlier. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So Bullfrog is what you'd call a remote weapon station. It's it gives an operator the ability to point an M240 or various other machine guns. Just say what would be like a human mounted or tripod mounted gun. Can go all the way up to an M2, maybe an M134. So these are like 50 caliber to 7.62 type round rifle systems.
Yeah.
So the Bullfrog takes that gun and mounts it. It just clips into the top, and then uses precision robotics to point and put rounds on a UAS.
So crazy.
It's really neat. It's neat to watch in person too. It's super fun to watch in person. Whenever I break this problem down, I break it down into 3 parts. So the enabling functions are that we need to have good AI tracking and control. So we have to, when a UAS comes into the field of view, we have to find it. And it could be in clutter. It could be in trees. It could be stopped in trees where you can't see it. So we have to find that vehicle in the trees. Then we have to find its center of mass, so where it is as an aim point. Then we have to come up with a ballistic solution to where it is and how fast it's moving with a path plan. Because the drones aren't stationary.
Yeah.
It takes time for the camera to see the drone, to process the images, and then tell where it is. So some amount of time has passed.
How much?
Well, it depends on frame to frame or how fast your computer vision is. So it can be microseconds. And we have a team of engineers who, this is like their job is to make sure this happens as quick as possible. And it's critical.
Yeah.
So when we find the frames and then we drive motor control, that goes into what has to be a precision gimbal. Because if you think about an M240, that rifle will put about an 18-inch circle out of just bullets that are sort of splattered at 300, 400 meters. So our error in the gimbal pointing has to be less than that, or we're adding to the error of the total system.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So
wow.
That means we have to be computer vision experts. We also have to be robotic gimbal pointing experts, that motor control. We have to have like encoders and the whole works, all the neat engineering things to get to track, to slew and find the target. The next thing is these things weigh something. Say it's 70 or 80 pounds of bullets, of guns, of cameras and things that are on the turret, and it has a large mass moment. So as it slews, and the gimbal's capable of moving 400 degrees per second. So more than 1 revolution per second in azimuth and elevation. When it's moving that fast,
I can't even imagine this, honestly.
It's so crazy. It's like, a 100-pound thing that swivels at 400 meters per second. That then you need it to stop, like immediately. So that's the third part, is the motor control, the ability to set up a motor control algorithm, whether it's PI loops, nonlinear controllers, whatever it may be, that you're slewing to this position, and as it's rolling forward, you're already sending the slow down commands so that it doesn't go past and doesn't oscillate.
Wow.
Because we have to make a shot. And our typical kill chain is probably less than 2 seconds. From target being found to notifying an operator for an operator to click a button for us to put rounds downrange to mitigate a UAS. And that's with an operator in the loop. If it was fully autonomous, it would be less than that.
I just imagine the operator being like, just like ready.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Honestly, like when you're explaining it, it sounds impossible. But obviously it's not, but like it sounds impossible. It sounds crazy.
And the thing about it, like if you've been around UAS and say the FPV threat they have to deal with in Ukraine, those drones move at 20 meters per second or faster. So if you're 200 meters away from the UAS when you see it, you have 10 seconds before it's at your doorstep. So all of this stuff has to happen very, 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 very fast for the weapon system to be effective.
Okay, I don't even know if you can answer this, but are these being used yet in the military?
So very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, very soon.
Awesome.
They'll be rolling out. There's lots of military groups that are interested in doing procurement studies for how they can be integrated into armored vehicles or lightweight vehicles or put on base defense.
Yeah.
Those are all the types of applications we're looking for because there's a gap between these fiber guided FPV drones that aren't emitting RF. So like the old way that we would do counter UAS, and it's still valid for most UASs, is RF mitigation, where we would jam the control link or jam GPS. And as we enter into an age where these are fiber guided, there's no way to jam them. You have to see them, and you have to do some sort of kinetic intercept, whether it's a high power microwave, it's a high energy laser, or it's good old fashioned bullet.
Okay. Can these systems be hacked?
That's a great question. Theoretically, no. The layers of security that you have to go through, when they're deployed, there's a whole group of the military that gives these certificates that are authorizations to operate. Okay. And as part of that, you have to go through a cybersecurity penetration testing.
Oh.
And they will, basically, they're like hackers. Yeah. They'll try to break your system. And then when they break it, you fix it. And then they break it again, and you fix it again.
Yeah. Okay, so have you guys met Skinny R&D yet?
No, we haven't.
Oh, wow, you totally should. Yeah, they're like, they specialize in that, basically showing you how to not get your system hacked because they know how to hack systems. Like, they're really, really good on it. They teach classes. But yeah, that ecosystem thing I was talking about, you have to talk to them.
Go catch up with them.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Wow, this is like, I love when I do an episode and it's way more interesting than I think it's going to be because I'm not technical. Like, I'm not a techie person, but this is so insane. Like I said, it sounds impossible. But when you hear about the things that people are doing out there, it's like, wow.
It's hard. It's not impossible.
Yeah,
it is.
It's
There's
hard.
no doubt it's hard to do.
How many people work for ACS?
We are probably over 50 now.
That's not a lot. So you guys are grinding.
Yeah. Wow. Like, we're getting Slack messages Monday. And, all the team leads are like, stop working Monday.
Yeah, I can't.
They're like, we're busy.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so how do you stay innovative in such high stakes, fast moving industry like defense tech? And what does that process look like inside your team?
It is, there's a lot of reading. And we have separate, if you're familiar with Slack, we have separate Slack channels that are set up they basically accumulate. Like our MR team, Marcom team will find links, that are competition. They'll find links that are sensors. There's like news from new threats that come in that, like are reported on normal AP channels. And then there's the problems will accumulate. And then in innovation, we try to think about what the problems are. And I joke about solving problems by using things wrongly. Meaning,
Gotcha.
we're taking technology that is today and we're using it in a way it was never intended to solve a problem that exists today.
Gotcha.
So
that's innovative.
It is.
You're killing it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like we can do things a little different, and it comes down to like how much creativity we have in solving these problems just by doing it a little different.
Very cool. Very cool. So now I have another question. Like when your kids ask you, "Oh, Dad, what do you do?" How do you explain it to them? Because I get it, but like, how do you explain that?
They're been in defense tech for a little while, and in some cases I can show them a video.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go on YouTube, show you what to do. We have a 3D printer, so we're like, printing toys.
Oh, nice. Literally coolest dad ever. Yeah.
Thank you. But we go through a lot of trouble not to just explain to them what is it we do for a job, but why we do it.
Yeah.
We're doing this to keep people safe. I tell all my team leads now that it's possible the stuff we're building today in defense tech are the things that our kids are going to use if they go into service.
Yeah.
We have to do a good job in building the stuff today, or our children are going to like be given something that doesn't work when they need it to work.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Mom is also in defense tech.
Oh, awesome.
So she's, without name dropping, just say she's the high energy laser expert for the Army.
Oh, wow. High energy laser expert.
She was also UAH grad. And
wow.
She was alumni of the year last year.
Awesome. That's so cool. Wow. You guys are really cool. I love that. You should have brought her with you.
I know. Yeah, she's awesome.
That's really cool. Okay, so let's see. So we already talked about being a part of the I2C. So I know you guys haven't been here that long, but what role has the space played in your guys' growth or momentum?
There's a lot of things that happen in Huntsville, and you have to be in Huntsville or you have to know people in Huntsville to kind of get in there and work.
Yeah.
So being here and being able to go to Arsenal or being able to have meetings with any of the other vendors is almost critical.
Yeah.
In defense tech, we're Austin, we have Army Futures Command, and then here we have at Redstone we have RICTO, SMDC, the garrison, the test range, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And as the company grows, those are the groups within the military that we're gonna have to integrate with. Army, ground, fires, like all those are the types of people. It may be the place we end up testing.
Yeah.
Small UAS is here, so integrating with those teams, knowing what threats are, it's really important for us to be local to Huntsville.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. So also I wanted to ask you this before I forgot. Because you mentioned, I know they're for the military, but have you guys thought about your products being used just in like public safety, like police departments?
We have, yeah. So without going too far into it, the largest risk that we have, just say from a machine gun, and could you imagine a machine gun drone thing at a baseball stadium?
No.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's options to do things low collateral, like rubber bullets and things like that. But part of what the innovation group does is we're looking to how do we solve that problem in airspace in U.S. without ever firing a bullet. We call those types of problems scaled and layered effects.
Okay.
So you have layers of protection. So let's say you start with an RF system that can see drones from 5 kilometers away if they're using a radio. So they can see what the data link is, and then if they can find the location. If the drone comes within 3 kilometers, then it can start to mitigate. It can start doing telemetry jamming, it can start to do GPS. There's some very good systems out there that I've worked with in the past that are precision. They won't disrupt communications, that are ongoing within public places.
Yeah.
The next type of thing we look at is what can we do that is no collateral but still defeats the UAS. Things like laser dazzlers.
Okay.
So you can shine a laser and you can blind the camera.
Yeah.
Laser gets a little too hot, you can break a camera. And if these are, if you imagine it's an FPV drone.
Yeah.
If you lose your camera, you don't have any other way to navigate. So
yeah, it's like it's handled. Yeah.
The problem's handled. So we try to break those problems down so that it could be used in commercial airspace or like within continental United States, that type of thing, without inducing all of anything that could be perceived as collateral damage.
Gotcha. Okay. Very, very cool. So, last question. Looking ahead, what are you most excited about when it comes to the future of autonomous defense systems, and how is ACS helping to shape that future?
It's a great question. I'm glad you sent it to me ahead of time because it's given me something to think about. In the future, I feel like we're going to end up with robot on robot.
Yes.
That's what I hope that's what happens. It's not people. It's kind of like maybe going to be a battle of who's the most creative robot builder, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when we look at what ACS is doing, we're going to be a payload on top of a ground vehicle, a boat, maybe some flying platforms if you're really, really creative. And all those are really interesting concepts, considering that you can have a wheeled ground vehicle, and instead of having soldiers come in to lay suppressive fire, some operator can click a button and draw a line and say, I need suppressive fire here. The robot will maneuver and do whatever it needs to do, autonomously.
Yeah.
Same type of thing where you're constantly scanning the horizon. Anything within, 180 to, 195 enters in here, kill it. And be able to have these weapon systems automated to take out any of those threats, like on boats.
Yeah.
If we ever enter into any conflict where there's going to be lots of oceans, then all the small boats are going to have their own air defense platforms. So it's really interesting to think about how do we enter into the survivability of each of the ground vehicles from the airborne or seaborne or groundborne robots.
Yeah.
And get AI where it's good enough to pick out the right targets and to not engage targets that are targets you don't want to engage.
Yeah, that's really cool. I never thought about how the future is probably going to be robot against robot, and how that would be a good thing. No more people. And I mean, maybe I'm just saying this because I'm from America, but I feel like we're ahead in terms of like AI and technology. Who is the second? You know more than I do.
I would say like China's doing a really good job of being creative, and they have an industrial base.
Gotcha.
For building things that is just tremendous.
Yeah.
They like if you buy a robot on Amazon, you can probably guess where it's built.
Yeah.
So the supply chain for how to build robots is a challenge we're going to have to tackle. In the future, if there's any sort of conflict, that's, where do we get magnets from to build motors? How's wire made? We're really good at writing code.
Yeah.
Top notch writing code today. And we're also very good at being creative.
Yeah.
For
sure.
And if anyone ever, I hear these things all the time, like, oh, what's the U.S. going to do if we're in a conflict? You kind of circle back to what happened in COVID. Like, remember the first month of COVID, there wasn't enough PPE. Everyone and their brother got their 3D printers out, started coming up with creative ways to make things, were repurposing materials, and it happened overnight.
Yeah.
It's everyone organized, got it done.
Yeah, you're right. Well, wow. That was an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for stopping by today. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something because I definitely did. And I wish you guys the best of luck. And I'm really glad that you guys are here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So cool. Wow. I learned so much. Did you?
Yes.
I'm
I was sitting over here absorbing everything.
Right? That was just so
that
cool.
was really awesome, yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
It was neat, yeah.
It was. I'm I never thought about that, how it's going to be robot
I know.
versus robot one day.
Yeah. It's like Pandora's box of this stuff.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, I think things are not. Well, I don't know. You know how like in China, like their internet is like private, and it's like super secretive. I feel like it's gonna have to be more and more like that for everybody in order for that to be successful.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a lot of privacy for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's so much going on in that space, and we're, when you compare the U.S. and China, we're a little different because we're not like the government can't say build tanks, and everyone's like, yes,
Yeah.
we'll build tanks. Everyone's like, hold on, I don't know if I want to build a tank. It's got to be a green tank. It can't be a brown tank.
Exactly.
You got 5 companies that are doing that, and we'll all argue about it. But when it's done like it'll be done better.
Yeah.
Because it's not a government telling you what to do. It's
Yeah.
people thinking about the problem
Yeah.
and then solving
Yeah.
it. So
Definitely. So freaking cool. Wow. I'm planning to interview you guys again in a little, I don't know, maybe sometime to see what you guys are doing later.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you guys will be moving fast.
we're going to be doing a Series B raise right now.
What's that?
Wait. Like Series A, Series
Funding.
B. Yeah, funding
Yes.
round.
Okay.
So after that, Alabama is going to scale to do production. We're going to do production probably in the Shoals.
Oh.
We'll be like setting up a manufacturing plant and like building systems here.
I was going to ask you where, because I was looking on your website and I saw that a lot of the positions were in Austin. So it's like Austin and here. That's the 2 places, right? And you guys build in Austin, I'm assuming?
Right now, they have enough capability to build like 20 systems a month in Austin. Yeah.
Nice.
So the idea is they're prototyping we'll call it a cell, like got a CNC machine, whatever it takes to put the stuff together. When that gets figured out, we'll just pick it up, buy the stuff, and plop them down. And then if we need to build, like 100 a month, then we'll put 20 of these cells in.
Ah. Okay.
So it'll help define the square footage we need and like what to do. And then over in the Shoals, like there's Rocky Manufacturing and Nucor and all that. They have like top-notch trained assembly weld techs. There's a huge workforce. They put a lot of money into training over there. So we would want to take advantage of those. And then UH is here, so we would steal manufacturing, engineers and mechanical engineers and like everybody that takes to come and do that. Testing, we could do testing at UH range or over here in Redstone. So
very cool. Wow, what a sick job. That's so. Is this the coolest job you ever had?
It's pretty close. I left AeroVironment.
Okay.
And so the story there is in 2020, a company called Aegis Technologies bought my company. And we're building UASs, and Aegis Technologies renamed or rebranded into Blue Halo.
Oh.
So Blue Halo was another VC-backed company, and they were. The way they build is you buy a company, uses a platform, and then under it you buy other companies, and you build one capability out of a bunch of other companies that would never work together by just buying them and plugging them in.
That's really cool.
It's a great idea. So we were the second acquisition under that portfolio, and then the company got built up. To say when my company got bought, maybe the whole portfolio was $250-300 million. They sold to AeroVironment for $4.1 billion. So then I was the autonomy lead in a group called Advanced Innovations for AV, and did all of our collaborative autonomy, UAS swarming. Like all
That does
stuff.
sound pretty cool.
Yeah, so that was a neat job too. This is this will probably be a small company, so there's a lot more hands-on stuff, which I really like. Because when you get to be at those big companies, sometimes there's things that have to move fast, and you're like, "Hey, we need to do this." And we're like, "Great, let's have a meeting." It's like, "No, now, like now,
like today,
do it right now."
Oh my goodness!
And that's always tough to do.
Wow, so cool. Thanks again.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You can definitely. When we get to do Series B stuff, we can check back in.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, if you ever wanted to talk to Amanda, my wife.
Definitely. And the fact that she's an alumni, like, totally.
She's like the best alumni too.
Oh, literally, yeah.
The number one.
Oh man, that's
she's
so
got-
cool.
She has most of the SMAP. It's
Okay.
hers, and then she has most of the third floor in the optics building. It's hers.
Oh.
What is her name?
Amanda Clark.
Amanda.
Is her husband or your husband? I know a James Clark. He used to own. Well, he went in with Gary Maddox to direct SMAP Center. I used to work for SMAP
Oh,
Center.
gotcha. No.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Well, obviously she's not married.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely reach out to her. That's awesome.
Yeah. When
Wow.
the dust settles for what is Golden Dome, there's a laser component.
When is that gonna settle?
It's probably gonna settle in like a couple more months.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like they just
Yeah.
kind of started gearing up low key.
When they say in September when they release funding
Mm-hmm.
from Congress and the budgets are all established, is
Yeah.
when it's gonna be like, boom, projects are kicking off, all kinds of stuff's happening. Wow. That's when it's gonna be like really like exciting.
Golden Dome is so crazy. Every time I hear about it, it makes a little bit more sense, but I'm just like, that's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it's actually mind-boggling.
I always when I talk about the Golden Dome stuff, I did missile stuff for a little while.
Mhm.
When I talk about the Golden